guys? How are you? Woohoo! Am I on? Am I on? Check one. Check one. Hey, there we go. Going to take a second for people to get here. You are here. We're starting the show a little different tonight because having a little bit of gear issue, but I will be switching over to the other side in a second. Here we go. Hang tight. Hey, there we are. What's happening, guys? So, Carrie's watching. Carrie, tell me how the volume is. Wow, does it seem really, really loud? I'll turn my headphones down. So, welcome to episode 25 of, I think it's 25 of Sober Talk. I did do a couple episodes down in Hilton Head at my kitchen table with my laptop, and that was kind of odd. So let's give it a second, wait some people to get here. I'm seeing things here. Gene Miller, hey Tom, how's it going? It's going well. Keith Campbell, evening Tom. DA, how you doing, brother? DA, hey brother, glad to see you tonight. So tonight we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss why your brain is pissed off at you. And I heard somebody say that, hey, my brain is just pissed because you're depriving it of all those endorphins, all that alcohol. And I'll go from like being in a great mood to being in a god-awful mood. I got to tell you, Monday and Tuesday in Hilton Head were extremely challenging to me. I didn't have it in me. I was like, oh my gosh, my mind, my brain was telling me, my brain had a team of, top shelf lawyers negotiating with me. It's okay, you're at the beach, drink beer. And that was really crazy. That was really, really crazy and scary. So let's see if how's the volume out there, guys? Billy Malloy's here. Jim Hoyt's here. Hey, day 4. Let's see what day I'm on. Day 4 again. Is that Jim Hoyt or day 4? You've been sober, or I use this app? We are going to look and see how long I've been alcohol free. Let's see. I've been alcohol-free 80 days. How about the 80 days? So you're here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or you're sober curious. Either way, I'm glad that you're here. This is not an AA meeting. I am not a doctor. If you feel like you need help right now, call 911. Go to an emergency room. If you're that bad off, they'll keep you, or they'll send you to a place to help you detox. We drank because... We're self-medicating. That's what we do. We drink because we self-medicate. And I was drinking to deal with problems, and all of a sudden the drinking problem became a bigger problem than the actual problem. How do you know if you got a problem? If it causes problems. So there you have it. So let's, there's Gene Miller, Keith Campbell's here. Let me, we've got 270 people watching. We are going to post a number here in a little bit if you want to call in. But I really want to discuss. We have a lot of callers that come in, that call in. A lot of the founding members who've been here. I called Carl. I said, Carl, any way you come out, let me call you and we can discuss this whole why your brain is pissed off at you, because it's really bizarre how that works. And so let's check it out. Let's see if I can get Carl on the phone here. So there we go. Audio. Voice call. Here we go. Mark Holloway, 393 days clean and sober. That's awesome. Hello?
Tom.
There you are, Carl. How's it going, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. It's day 80 for me. My brain is kind of going through some changes in my mind. It's a tad weird. But I was on the phone with you the other day, and you said something like your brain's pissed off. Oh, geez, we gotta do a show called, episode of Sober Talk of your brain is mad at you, your brain is pissed off at you. Why does that happen, Carl? What do you think?
Well, Tom, it's a crazy thing. I want to make a comment. I mean, the little sweater action you got on
You
going
like
on
that?
there.
Doing something for you?
I mean, that is GQ stuff. I'm not used to seeing them. I'm just I'm here.
Well, let me tell you, this sweater's been in my office for 6 years in the makeup room, and I can't recall me ever wearing it in recent years. And in my office is you're either cranking the air or you're cranking the heat, and there's no in between. You go one day you have the heat on, you have the air on. The next day you have the heat on, and it's a heat. I'm freezing. I don't want to turn the air on because I don't want to turn the heat on because of the noise it makes. So your brain's pissed off at you. Did you ever go through that?
Tom, one thing people, I recommend everybody to, and again, I am no expert at anything except I was an expert drunk, and I have no medical experience, and I suffer from or have suffered and still have, the potential or the propensity to want to have a drink every now and then. And every now and then we know what that means. So,
Right.
Paul's post-acute withdrawal syndrome is real, and I don't. Have you heard of that before?
No.
It's very important for everyone who is going through what you're doing and what they might be going through experiencing right now. It is real, and the brain is wired to it absolutely and it can last up to 2 or 3 years. Every now and then it will pop up, and then it will say, "This is just total BS." Carl or Tom,
Right. I can see that.
and the brain is so. And what I was thinking about too, Tom. What was funny was I'm thinking, now I got my brain. Now who's talking to my brain? If I'm, do you?
It's your addiction. Your addiction's talking to your brain, letting you know I'm over here doing push-ups. He's not even in the corner doing push-ups. He's on your shoulder. Wait, hey, come on, drink a bit, just one beer.
Well, who is it on the shoulder? You see, if your brain is the total functioning of your, then there's something else outside of the brain, which is the most important element of our being that I believe exists. Then there is something else that's telling us that is communicating with the brain. Do you follow me? I mean,
all right. Yeah. What do you think that is? If you had a guess.
I'm going to say there's some form of spiritual part of us that is always there, and the brain is just another part of the body, just like the heart, which is also very important. These things that put out energy in our bodies, but there is something within each of us, and it is so difficult to try to understand or explain. And I've listened to things over the years, but there is something in each of us that knows that our brain is just another part of our function, of our existence, and is obviously a very important part because it controls everything that goes on. And when we take and when you read more about it, and hopefully others will too that are on this journey, when you read more about Paul's post-acute withdrawal syndrome, the brain will, especially at a point in time where you are right now, the brain will kick in and it'll go into depression mode. It'll say, "Look, I'm going to get my way. You are punishing me, and I want my alcohol, and I want to go and feel the way that I know how to feel when I'm on alcohol." That's, for me, Tom. I don't know about you or anybody else really, but for me, I could always depend on alcohol to take me back to feel the way that I knew I would feel. Um, yeah, I could be angry, upset, and would not necessarily know how to process those feelings. But I knew that if I drank alcohol, how I would feel. You see, I
Yeah,
don't
but
say,
and that's the thing, and that's where people fall off the wagon. That's where everyone seems to fall off the wagon. Their brain or the little person on their shoulder or their addiction sitting there. You're like, I got to tell you, Monday or Tuesday, I came very, very close, Monday and Tuesday, of falling off the wagon. But I just knew because I've seen so many people here on Sober Talk and listening to people like you that as soon as you do that, you start from scratch. And it may take you a few years to even restart your sobriety again. So that's a scary thing with me is how do you do this, without, how do you do it without falling into your brain. Because I love that saying. While you're over here, practicing not drinking, your addiction's in the corner doing push-ups. So,
yeah, out in the parking lot doing push,
mm,
and then the folks when I was active in the program, the old time, I mean, that's what they said. And I said, "What do you mean? How could that be? I am my brain, but I'm not my brain. My brain is a part of my body uh,
that
that
once those endorphins and dopamines release, that alcohol brings. Is that what you're saying?
exactly." And Tom, what the point I was going to make a minute ago was, they say that alcoholism is a insanity. Is the definition of insanity, doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results.
Right.
No, that is absolutely not true. Because for me, it was not. Because I expected the same thing every time when I drank. I knew where I would be when I drank, and that was not insanity. That was reality. Uh, the insanity is I wasn't sure how to live with certain feelings or emotions that would gear up in me and uh, turn left, turn right, go straight, all that. Those things, those emotions, and not necessarily knowing how to deal with those things, my brain would say, I mean, hey, I can help you with this. Take a drink and you'll feel like you know how you feel when you drink. And then we'll take it from there and handle everything.
But
Obviously,
then there's and I've done it so many damn times, Carl, that it's just that's insane. Where I keep on going, okay, next time it's gonna be different. Next time's gonna be different. Next time's gonna be different. Until I started doing different things to deal with it, I think it's my only shot, my only hope. But I'm very aware. I'm very, I know. Hold on, Bev Holland says alcohol and drugs use the liver as a punching bag. Uh, you gotta get up every day and make sure you never quit on yourself. That's Natalie Jansen saying people will quit on you. You gotta get up every day and just depend on yourself. It's a crazy thing, but I think the point of the show, people who are watching, is that with you know with addiction, I've done it 100 times, and that's the thing that baffles me. I've done 100. You're okay. You've got this. You've gone 2 years, dude. You're fine. Go ahead and drink. And then I go drink. I drink even more than I used to do, and I ended up hurting more people. With my silver tongue, my comedic tongue, or my piece of ass tongue. Well, that didn't come out crazy. I've been a total ass. I've been a total ass. My piece of ass tongue. I've been a total ass when I drink. I have I have ruined relationships. I've ruined business deals. I've just about ruined my marriage. About ruined my kids looking up to me or anything. So yeah, I think it's so amazing. The addiction is so strong that when the trigger of Hilton Head was so strong that
I,
I almost
I,
flew back home.
no, I could feel that. Yeah, I was experiencing what you were. I mean, I could feel the experience when you. that is a very challenging move you made going down
Oh, and
there.
plus I did a show down there. There's a place called the Comedy Cabaret, and the owner, Kerry, Kerry, I became friends with him. We go out boating and stuff. He'll invite me, and his wife invites me and my daughter out when we're down there. And it's an open bar. When you're performing, you get, and she said, "Hey, you want a Bud Light?" And I haven't seen her in, I guess, more than 80 days or whatever. I said, "No." And so after the show, she said, "I figure you want to drink after the show." I'm nah, yeah, I'm cutting back. I stopped, and I didn't get into it. Uh, but it was a
Hey,
big trigger.
that's important, Tom. You know, the best thing, and I was I was really scared to tell people in my first runs at becoming sober. Hey, I don't drink anymore, guys. I mean, it's
You are
you know,
alcohol free. You do not drink. Now, you were telling me a little bit when you drove, how many hours to get with your wife and kids. This is years ago to go to a
right.
facility. What was that? Can you mind sharing? That's a great share. You mind telling us a little bit about that?
No, I don't, Tom. And it's very challenging. Not challenging. It brings back a lot of memories, and this is why I told you a little bit about it because it was so important. It was to change the point that my life had deteriorated to the point that I was likely not to be here on this planet 2 or 3 weeks more. And
And what were you drinking like every night? I mean, like a half gallon or something? What it got to?
no, time I was strictly a beer drinker, and I drank beginning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I may have said this before, but my wife would go to McDonald's before she went to her job, which we won't say what that is, but and she would, I think it would be about 6 o'clock in the morning, and that gave me time before she got back to get two 16-ounce beers in me.
Yeah, I recall you telling me that.
And when she got back, it was I'm going to work, and then I mean she would leave, and then it got at the end, Tom. I couldn't go to work. I literally had reached that point, and it's hard to even imagine today that I was at a point in time where life just did not. I could no longer live with or with alcohol. I know you've heard that before in me,
Oh
right?
God, yeah. What a god awful thought. You can no longer live with or without it.
And Tom, as I may have told you before too, I had everything in the world going my way. So I thought. But I knew that the alcohol was killing me. And I had to find a way out. And I spent most of my morning for a month. If I had two or maybe three beers in it, that was enough to allow me to get on the computer and research and find out because I'd been through the AA all those years and I had done so many different things to try to all the exercise. I mean, so many.
Yeah. Well, let's take real quick. I want to get because I got another caller, but I wanted. So, how long of a drive was it for you, your wife, and three kids to drive to?
My my three adult, well, they were late teenage sons. One of them was in his early 20s. They did ride with me. One drove. They allowed me to keep the vehicle at the uh,
Facility.
at the incarceration. I mean, yeah, at the rehab. And so one used that vehicle, and the other two. But man, they were all so scared. We were all so scared, and I cannot explain how grateful I am that I had the wife and still do for 35 years, that they actually were begging and crying, and we all were. And it took 2.5 days, and we pulled up in a northeastern state at a facility that saved my life.
And how long were you at that facility? Where did your family stay when you were in the facility? Did they go back home?
Oh, they were, they could not stay around. But number one, the rules and regulations. Number two, they had to get back to their lives. And man, that's Tom. If you need to go, go ahead and go. But
I want to go ahead because I want to tell you something real quick. Go ahead.
All right, that's the most lonely, fearful time that I've ever experienced in my life. I've dropped my company. I've dropped my. I felt as though I'd lost my family. They're going to go back and they're going to forget about me. This is the alcohol brain talking at that time.
So
my life was over.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you seem. I talked to you a lot off of the show too, offline here, but off the air. There you go. So okay, I'm tired. My brain is still getting used to not drinking beer every day. But
and you're doing great. I swear to God, you're right on track. But you're even more on track with what you're doing and with. I've never seen somebody do what you've done.
Well, this definitely holds me accountable. And someone was telling me they went to rehab and they were gonna fly. And who was Jeff Graham talked about all the liquor stores, all the bars at the airport when you get off the plane. There's a bar every 20 feet, and some of the facilities will send someone, a sober traveler, with you to make sure that you don't. And I was just curious, is that why you guys drove instead of you flying, because your family was afraid that you would not make it to the facility, and if you did, you drank, you would just not show up and you'd be drunk somewhere.
They were concerned that I might not appear there, and they had absolute concern to be that way, but at that point in time, Tom, I was definitely going to go. I mean, I wanted to. There was some kind of want to live, and
right.
That's different.
Yeah, but you knew it was time. You knew it was time. So, all right, I'm gonna give Chris a call back here. People were calling while we were on the phone, but and guys, if you do call, and you don't keep on calling back. I still can't pick up if I'm on the phone, but I see a thing that's to call you back. So, all right, Carl, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, same here, Tom. Have a good night.
All right, hey, I feel like I hung up on Carl too soon, Carl. We'll talk again. I'm sorry. If you're here, if you're listening, Carl, I didn't mean to cut you off so quick. Let's see here. Let's call Chris, and here we go. We're gonna wrap up the show about 8:30, guys. It takes time for the body and mind to adjust to the lack of contamination. That's right, Bev Holland. Yeah, we've had a lot. Well, last week, I traveled quite a bit last week, and I'm very excited.
Your call has been.
I'm very excited to be back home. We got home, I guess, Friday night, and it just feels good to be home. But boy, the weather's changed. I was pumping gas at Kroger, and I was like, oh my gosh, I literally the first time I got back in my truck because I had shorts on. I couldn't stand how cold it was. So, well, guys, thanks for watching. I'm kind of in a weird headspace right now. I don't feel like I'm going to drink. I just feel a tad just out of sorts, and so I am going to call it a night. You guys have been fun. You've been good as always, and let's one more time. We'll give Chris. Let's call Chris one more time and see if he picks up. One more time. Dude, you just called me, Chris. Now you won't pick up. What's going on? What's going on? Maybe in the bathroom. Yeah, all right. Well, never mind, guys. Well, thanks for watching another episode of Sober Talk. We're working on a new schedule, working on some new things that I think you guys are gonna really like, and with some pros coming in studio. Or not, we're all anyone who's conquered alcoholism or drug use or whatever. We are going to. We want you to have takeaways. I think it helps that we all get to just talk about it when we're doing this, but it's also be nice to have some takeaways and some tools that you can use when you guys are quitting, and like when I'm quitting. I'm very fortunate. I'm loving the meetings, and I got a great therapist. She's all hot in hell, hot as hell. So that helps out, even though it's hard to see everything. I'm being silly. I got nothing. So all right, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye. Gary?
What's going on, Tom?
Hey, how are you? Wait a minute. What's going on with you?
Pretty good. Not much, man.
So you're live, actually, I think. I was talking to Carl, and I cut him off short to call this other guy back, and then the other guy wasn't available. You got a second, or are you in the middle of something?
No, I had just got off work and was getting on, and you were trying to call somebody. I was like, call me.
Well, we're talking about why is your brain pissed off at you? And how long have you been sober now? Going on 3 years?
Almost 2.5. This December will be 2.5 years, December 18th.
Wow, congrats. So you're the one who said that your addiction is not in the other corner doing push-ups. It's on your shoulder. Did your brain get mad at you when you were quitting drinking?
Oh my goodness, my brain was mad at me. My body was mad at me. Everything was, they say that the best thing about getting sober is your feelings come back, and also that's the worst thing about getting sober is your feelings come back. Your
feelings, like your emotional feelings, or feelings in your feet.
Yes, sir.
And the feelings in your feet too. What's that called? Neuropathy, when your feet get. What's that called?
It's peripheral neuropathy.
Gotcha. So how did you deal with it when you're and I tried to call you all day today, and I thought, oh my gosh, he fell off the wagon. He got drunk last night, Saturday night. He got drunk, and he's too embarrassed to pick up. I'm glad you found. I didn't realize you had all your work stuff going on today, but how did you deal with your brain being pissed at you? Because dude, I got to tell you, Monday and Tuesday of last week down in Hilton Head, I was beyond. I was beyond ready to drink. It was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, at the time I was pushing 80 days. It's 80 days a day, but so it was like 75 days then, or whatever it was, 74 days. I was not in a good place. I didn't drink the whole week I was down there. Even went to a bar and had Sprite and hot wings with a realtor who was drinking like a fish. And even performed at a comedy club, and it was an open bar for comics, and I didn't touch anything. But boy, did I want to. I knew, boy, I knew I would have driven home and be, life is so great, life's so great. And it passed. It passed by Tuesday night when I went to bed. Like Monday and Tuesday, it really sucked. What did you do when your brain was pissed off at you?
There was different things. I did a lot of walking, try to stay busy, try to keep myself occupied.
Right.
I was in a rehab facility for the first 120 days of my sobriety. I went through the program and then kind of stayed on property. They call that restless, irritable, and discontent.
Yeah, the red, right? The red.
I tried really to stay around a lot of people that were in sobriety. That seemed to help. And when worse comes to worse, help somebody. Go do something to help somebody.
Right. I know.
Usually,
I so get that. Tuesday night, I sent a surprise gift via Amazon to a buddy of mine in California because he's out of work and the COVID's shutting everything down. And I felt so good when I sent him a little gag T-shirt. I know he's gonna love it when he sees it. And I'm like, I wasn't helping. It was doing something nice. It wasn't really helping anybody, but boy, did it make me feel better. So I get what you're saying there.
when you're helping others, it takes the focus off you, and the alcoholic and the addicted mind is so self-centered, and it's all it's the center of the universe, and everything else revolves around it. And when you get out of yourself and you help others, you're not making yourself the center of the universe. And that restless irritable discontent, it comes and goes. There's days that it's really bad. It's been a tough weekend for me because I work on call on a cycle, and this
Right.
is my weekend working, and I worked from about basically 8 o'clock yesterday morning until 1 o'clock last night.
Wow.
And I have to get centered and realize this is not all about me. I've got to stay what we call spiritually fit, and keep my head up and not let those negative emotions get a hold of me. It doesn't get, with more practice, you learn how to deal with it a little easier.
Right.
They're still there, but in that beginning period, that first 6 months, man, there's some real bears in there. They come clawing out at you.
Today I felt needy. I felt, I'm trying to get this whole insecurity thing out of my system, and I'm working with my kids on it because they were born with it. My son, since he could talk, was worried about everything, and I was like, man, don't wait 40 years before you're any good at dealing with this stuff, And I try to tell them, I read the Unawakening, the morning prayer, and talk about lifting any self-pity and self-serving motives and insecurities away from you, for the next 24 hours, and that helps me. But man, it was just, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. And again, I didn't feel like drinking, but I wasn't happy, and I'm trying to just get happy, man. I really am, and I'm thinking maybe different meds or something. I don't know.
You and I, we talk, just about daily, and these last since Friday, I talked to you Thursday night, and since Friday, man, I've been like, oh, man, I can't. I just haven't been able to, with my work and everything else. We haven't got to have our nightly chat or anything. So I'm like, man, I know he's doing okay, but and then today when I saw that the text that you sent me, I was like, oh, cool, man. Like Tom's back in town, man. I can't wait till I can get a minute to give him a call because.
Yeah, I really appreciate that too. And being that you're in town, being that you're in town here too, you can, you can come in studio. And we'll try that. Even if you have to sit in the control room, and I wish, I just gotta get a camera guy and a producer in here. But well, man, thanks for calling in. What else is happening? Anything new with you? Anything good?
Just moving forward day by day. Keeping my head up. I went down. We had our meeting on Thursday night down at the Ben Shealy place. It was a really good meeting.
How many people were there with the COVID? How many people were in the meeting with there?
I think we had a total of 21 people present, between clients and alumni. I've got one of the things that I've been pushing for is to get the guys that get through the program to come back. Like, man, come back, what I'm saying, and show these new guys that are coming through, man. It just
like
works,
an alumni show, like when like a high school reunion, yeah. And
exactly.
are they? You were saying something like, out of 100 people getting sober, was it you told me only like 2 will stay sober for 2 years or something? I forget what it was.
Yeah, out of the stats, the last stats that I was told. This is by one of my mentors who, rest his soul, has passed away. He passed away back in 2019 in March, but he had told me, he said 6 people out of 100 that attempt sobriety or clean clean living from addiction or alcoholism. If six people out of 100 will stay sober or clean for a year, and 2 out of those 6 will stay sober 2 years.
So what about people? What about people watching this right now? Does that like make them go, "Crap, I can't. Why even try? The odds are so low." But I guess even if you go 3 to 6 months, no alcohol is better. It's better than nothing at all.
And when I'm at the meetings, I try not to ever. I try to leave that statistic alone, because it's so dismal. But the only people that can change that is us, and we can only try to change that statistic, and that's day by day.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys come through the program and the rooms, and as time's gone by, I've developed a close knit circle of friends that stay sober, and life's tough, man. It's tough, and addiction's tough. It's always just waiting for the rationalization to creep right back in, and the pitfall that an addict or an alcoholic runs into is that we pick up right where we left off. And there's no romance period.
They say it's progressive. There's no like, oh, let's just have a couple. Let's get on. It's like jump right back in, case of beer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's my last run that I went on. I had done a 70-day white knuckle run, and about 72 days, and I picked up right where I left off, and it destroyed me. I mean, it destroyed me in the matter of about a month. It destroyed me because I didn't have the tolerance, and I just kept drinking. And there's no romance period where it's fun. You just go straight back to miserable. Addiction's it's a beast, man.
Yeah.
And it's knowing that, and when I went to recovery and rehab, I didn't really realize what I was suffering from.
Hey,
and,
Eric,
thank God for
Eric Drake, I just want to get this in before I lose it. Eric Drake says it takes a while for our brains to start reproducing the right chemicals to feel good again after stopping drinking or doing drugs. So how long do you think?
Right.
I wonder how long do you think is? I need something to expedite this mood, this funk I'm in, because I'm telling you, if I don't, I'm going to start drinking again. So I need something, and I don't know. It's weird. Just a trip down the beach, kind of. There's a guy up here earlier say 10 years is the first time that he went down to the lake sober. He hasn't done it in 10 years. So the first time he did it, spent 4 days down there. 3 days. Okay, this is David Gossman. Went to Orlando a few weeks ago for 3-day vacation. First time sober in 10 years. So for every 10, man, that's me. My wife and I get off the plane. We go get the rental car. We go to the store. I smell the ocean air, and I'm like, I gotta get beer. I have to get beer. So, and I didn't, but boy, I'm talking 2 days of just pissed at the world, and I'm trying to talk myself off the ledge. So, anywho.
Well, what you need to do is you need to have a support group, of sober friends.
Hey, this is October. Oh, Sober October. I call it October.
I like it. You and I definitely, after now that I've got this weekend out of the way, we've got to get back on our regular day-to-days.
Yes. I
did
appreciate
you get
all
hold
your
of
help.
Donny?
Yes, I did not get a hold of Donny Durban. I left him a voicemail and a text, but I could tell, boy, I think our little community here is going to love hearing him speak. If he's anything like you, and he's one of your mentors, right?
Yes. He lights it up, man. He's on fire for his recovery. I had a pretty tough day last Thursday, and I went into my meeting, and I told the guys, I said, you're in here in your first 60 days. I said, let me tell you something. It doesn't get any easier at 2.5 years. I said, trust me, it doesn't.
Well, but we got to.
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want? But you don't feel like shit every day, right? We normally feel good, but it's just sometimes it can creep up on you and you have a bad day. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and the bad days come. It's not, sobriety's not all unicorns and rainbows. I mean, there's, and there's still situations that I encounter that I have to learn how to deal with sober. I'm not saying that it ever gets easier. You just get used to dealing with it, and that's where you have to build a strong program to know how to deal with those kinds of things.
Because we used to let alcohol deal with them for us, and that just got us in trouble. How'd that work out? It worked out like crap. It did not work out. So it's,
And that's the thing that you've got to remind yourself is to where drinking again is going to take you. Or using, or whatever crutch it is that somebody is, escaping reality from, it's a maladjusted, it's a spiritual malady coupled with a physical obsession and a physical allergy, that creates the phenomenon of craving. I start drinking and I just keep drinking, and I know where that's going to take me.
Right. Right.
I could try control drinking, but I know where I don't know what controlled drinking is. You know what I'm saying? If I start drinking, I'm looking for an excuse to drink more.
Right.
And if there's 2 bottles sitting on the counter, I'm going to drink 2 bottles. And if there's 3 bottles, I'm going to drink 3. If it's there, I'm going to drink it. Without any thought of saving anything.
I'm the same way with Snicker bars, those ice cream Snicker bars. I'll eat the whole box. Like I said, I'm a chocoholic, but for booze. All right, well, hey, brother, I'm going to call this other guy back. He finally texted me. He said his phone was on silent, so let me call him. And are you going to be up for a while tonight?
Oh, yeah, I'll be up for a bit. I'm going to get back and watch the show some more.
Okay.
I just pulled up in my driveway. I've been on the road the whole time I was talking to you.
Okay.
I just pulled up in my driveway, so I'm going to click on the show and watch it, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, you're seeing. I'm kind of in a crappy mood, so it's not the best show on my end, but it's good. So all right, it's a lot better since you and Carl came on. So I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. Talk to you.
Thank you. So that was Greg, and now we're calling Chris. And so when I'm a producer, we'll have someone on standby if someone else bails or if they have an issue with something.
Hello.
Chris, Tom Mabe, Sober Talk. How are you doing?
Well, hey, brother. Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Our buddy, one of our founding members here, Carl, had said something on the phone with me when I was off air. He said, your brain's pissed at you, Tom. And I'm like, wow, that's a great show idea. Let's do why is your brain pissed at you, or have you experienced, I said earlier at the top of the hour here that my brain hired a group of attorneys, hotshot attorneys, to tell me why it's okay for me to drink. And 2 days down at the beach, it was Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week was okay, but those first 2 days sucked so bad. It was so hard to drink. Do you ever have to fight those demons? Your addiction mind, telling you, hey, it's okay. So just have one, or whatever it is. Do you deal with that?
Yes, I do. I either call my demons or the committee. The committee, because they're always talking like, hey, come on, Chris, it'll be all right. Just one drink, just one shot, you'll be fine and stuff. I was told to stop calling them demons. I don't think of like the devil and stuff. So
right.
Said start calling them the committee.
The committee, yeah.
I was like,
the committee with five or six lawyers on the committee. Man, they were doing everything, telling me that, and good thing I didn't. And I'm glad. I'm very proud of myself. As bad as Monday and Tuesday were, bad as I had a kind of a tough day today, I still didn't drink. I did not drink, and that's
proud of you. Proud of you.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, and it was really, really cool. But how you been? You've been so. How are you? Because when I met you, I didn't think you would stay sober for 2 days. But how you're involved in so many things. What do you do in lieu of drinking now or using? What do you do? What tricks are you using?
My tricks are those meetings. You know, I used to think they were such a joke. Meetings this, meetings that, yeah, blah 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 blah. But you know what? There's days I don't feel like going to them. But when I leave there, I am honestly like, boy, I'm glad I went there, and it just makes my day. Because you know, I always make fun of people because they always like, oh, you should smile at people, it helps you out and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, you guys are stupid. But in all reality, it's so true. You know, I mean, it's honestly true. Because there's days that my wife has drugged me to those classes. I'm thinking of her. That's when my committee is like just calling her names and calling AA names. But once I get there and relax, and by the time I leave there, I'm happy. I mean, I'm content. I mean, I'm nice. I'm a good guy afterwards. I'm happier. You know, it was worth it. It's worth it. And I just stay busy. I do book meetings for the steps, for the 12 steps. Me and my wife just did one that was 4 weeks. And then here in a month, we're going to do one that takes 6 weeks, and they're 2-hour meetings. And we have speakers come in from out of town, and then we do like kind of homework and stuff. I mean, I know it's not childish, but
not a childish. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I really want to have, you know, we have our few favorites. We have all of these followers are favorites, but we have a few that really love speaking, and it's good. But I'm kind of going to the well too many times with some of these individuals. I want to get some fresh blood, and you know, and have some speakers come in. You say they come in from out of town, and they just speak. They just speak at the meeting, huh?
Yep. You know, like I said, you know, people may think they don't like them. That's just because they're refusing it.
Oh, dude, I've refused. You know? I've refused, you know, any kind of treatment forever, ever, and ever. And this is now. And see, you're working it right. I've still yet to commit to the steps. There's a couple. I'm a slow learner. You know,
Ain't we all?
It's short. A failure to launch with me, but I am doing it, and I really get a lot out of the meetings. And I really enjoy the Zoom meetings. I need to find another meeting because when they start going live out, you know, because of COVID, when that goes away, when they go to, you know, in-person meetings, it's like a 7 a.m. meeting. So I got to find a meeting like at noon or something. But
right.
Well, that's great. That's great. So
you know, like another scary thing I was always worried about. What am I gonna do for fun sober? You know, how the hell do you have fun sober?
Yeah, how do you have fun?
Well, you know what? I have met some very interesting, fun people in AA groups. And I don't let people come to my house, but I'm allowing new people coming out of my comfort zone. And we've had a few fires for like 3 or 4 couples and a few like stragglers come over.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it's probably one of the best times we've had.
See, 'cause that's, you know, that's what I was like, you know, no, we can't go to the beach without alcohol. We can't do this without alcohol. But, you know, we can't, but it gets to the point where, well, we can't do the laundry with alcohol. We can't take the kids to school without alcohol. Everything. So it's just going to take a minute for me to actually get to where I'm having fun. I had a great show at a comedy club down in Hilton Head, and I'm completely sober, and a great show at that. So that's the cool thing about being sober on stage, is that you can, if you have a bad show, you know it's because you just bombed or whatever. But you know, at least you know what was. You don't have to go, was it because I was drinking? You know, so.
Right. Yeah. And I just find it, I'm becoming more of myself, and like everybody's saying, everybody's like, this is the Chris I remember, you know, always having fun. You don't got to be high or drunk, you know, or guzzling down bottles, you know. And then that's when people start to dislike you, and they're like, you know, I'm a smart butthead. I'm a smart ass. I'm sorry, but you know, and you know, and nowadays I know when not to get so smart, you know. I like to talk BS and have a good time. And now I know, you know, some people don't always need to be picked on or ridiculed, but you know, it's still fun to do it, you know. But just have fun. I mean, yeah. I have learned so much in over 3 months now. It's crazy. And my friends are coming back, family is coming back. Even people I really didn't even like are talking to me because I'm a whole different person. I'm not that a-hole anymore. I'm not the prick, you know.
Hey, have you talked to So, well, off the air, I'll ask you about somebody if you talk to him, but we'll talk about that
Okay.
later. Speaking of being a prick, I want to curious how you are doing in a certain situation, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So let's see. Steve, what's your number? So there's a here's a Renee Torre. I don't think I will ever quit, so I decided just to cut back instead. I live alone, so I will have no one to hold me accountable. And that's Renee. I don't know how you can do it. If you're like me or if you're like Chris, there's no cutting back, is there, Chris?
No, there is not. There is not. If you find yourself lonely and by yourself or something, pick up that phone. Someone will answer. Go through your phone dictionary and just call somebody until they answer. Someone is there for you, you know.
Yeah, and Eric Drake says, I felt the same way about meetings. Just think, though, it's only 1 hour of the day to have a great life. How many hours are spent drinking and hungover? Boy, that's true, Eric. Yes,
Yep.
1
Just think of
hour.
how long it took us to get ready to go out and get wasted all night, come home and feel like poop the next day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, that's
You know?
right.
get cologne on, girls get the makeup on, we all get dressed up, you know,
Mhm.
gotta be styling, you know. And like, you know, the good thing is my wife, I used to like, what are you getting all this makeup on? We're just going to a meeting, you know. We're not going out dancing and we ain't going to bar, you know.
Right?
And now, you know, and I come to find out one of my insecurities, you know.
Oh,
'Cause I'm
yeah.
thinking,
She's trying
you know,
to impress
what do you need
somebody at a
makeup
meeting
on
or
for?
something. Yeah.
right, we're going to a meeting. You got to look good for nobody. Who you trying to look good for? But the thing is, she's doing it for herself because now that we don't go out very often, she don't put makeup on. So, you know, it's just like little things like that I've learned, you know. Hey, my wife is beautiful. You know, if she wants to wear makeup and look beautiful, even more beautiful, so be it. Stop being a prick, you know. You know, just I'm starting to see so many like little things about myself. I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
and then like tomorrow's gonna be the hardest day for my wife. The anniversary of her sister's death, and she committed suicide. So I'm really worried about her, and I'm out of town working. So yeah, I wish the best for her. Hope the best for her. So if anybody prays or listening, please give my wife a little prayer. Please.
Should we have her on
Wish her the
tomorrow?
best.
Should we have her on tomorrow night?
If you want her, heck yeah. I mean, she would totally appreciate that. She's a wonderful woman.
That's a big thing for her.
Oh yeah. Last 15 years that she's been gone. I mean, we've always got hammered. Just get tomorrow,
Yeah.
you know. So on her anniversary. So this will be the first time in 15 years that she has not had a drink or a shot for her sister.
Wow, that's great. So, all right, brother. Well, I'm going to head home and watch old TV and just. But this has helped me. I'm gonna go read some of the big book and some of the steps, and you know, it's a great. Even if you don't have an addiction or a drinking addiction or any kind of problem, it's just a great. It's a great roadmap for your life. The big book. I love that book.
Yep.
So.
You know, like another thing, I'm not very religious, but I'm starting to pick it up a little bit, and I keep hearing people say all AA and NA groups is that Bob and the other guy that wrote this book took the best parts of the Bible and put it into the AA book.
Oh, wow.
You know, so that's why religion and this group get along so good, because they took the best part of the Bible and stuck it into this AA book, the big book.
Right.
You know, and that's just stuck with me. And every now and then when I read a phrase, I'm like, wow. I would have never read that in the Bible because I wouldn't have wanted to pick up a Bible, you know, because I'm bullheaded. So
Yeah.
reading it in the big book, it helps me. And it's from the Bible, you know, so. They tricked me.
they tricked you, so.
Yep.
But-
All right, brother. Well,
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I will. Thanks for calling in, and
well, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
so I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you another night about tomorrow.
Okay, brother. You have a good night then. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you too, buddy. We'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching another episode of Sober Talk. I'm Tom Mabe. If you want to, I want to put my email right here. if you would like to talk tomorrow night, send me your number, and I will call you for the show. And I need to have, we just got it. There's a couple things I want to talk to y'all about tomorrow. But all right, I love you. I'm wiped out. It's been kind of a weird day. So I love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.